All right, everybody, we got a good episode for you today. Just going to cover a couple small things. Talk about the market today. Over the weekend, you had the president finally sign that stimulus bill, and I'll tell you right now, I'm kind of upset about it. Having been a waiter before, and you work in a restaurant, and you go to pick up your table, you look at the tip, and somebody leaves you like a quarter or a nickel for a tip. What sucks isn't the fact that they left you a nickel. In fact, you'd rather them not leave you anything than leave you a nickel, because at least in that time you might think, oh, they might have forgot it, and it sucks not to get a tip, but at least you know that it might be an accident. But when somebody leaves you a nickel, it's a big middle finger, and it means not only did they not forget it, but they're intentionally giving you pretty much no tip. And so we don't even pick up the nickel, right? And so when that stimulus bill, or whatever they want to call it, the relief bill, gives people $600. I mean, we've been waiting since April probably, I think, where the government, state and federal government's giving people nothing pretty much. And then you just give $600. That's the equivalent of somebody giving you a nickel. And somebody actually picked up on that on a podcast that I was listening to over the weekend. And it was the exact thing. They used a nickel. I mean, it was funny. And it's like, it's a big FU. And, there's talk today that, they're going to go to Congress, and they're going to, I guess it was conditional that he signed it based on them going back and negotiating for a larger stimulus, but they're not going to do it. I mean, come on, you don't give away your biggest negotiating chip, which is your signature, and then say, well, I'm going to give you everything you want, and then could you give it to me even though I'm not going to be in office in a month? Like, come on, seriously? Like, unbelievably disappointed. I'm a big Trump guy, and I was very disappointed in that, because you got to know better. Read your own book, The Art of the Deal. You don't give somebody the deal and then ask for what you want. I mean, that's crazy. It's what Bernie did, and how Bernie got nothing. Every time you wanted something, he gave them what they wanted, and then he never got it. And AOC, she basically said, I'm going to support Pelosi, and then has no negotiating leverage, right? So anyway, the market went up today. We saw my particular portfolio went up about $3,000 today, and then retreated back down. And basically, it wasn't an across-the-board thing. It was very segmented. So as we look at some of the stocks here, we had some big winners today, which we'll talk about. Oh, actually, we'll just go to our spreadsheet and take a look at it today. So again, we have a movement tab on here where we compare yesterday's numbers to today's numbers. But more importantly, we rank them based on change. Ellis Gaming was the biggest loser today at 15%, but that's been a freaking tear lately. I mean, we're still over, 50%. We have a 50% profit on the stock already, and that's with a 15% drop. So if we had looked at today, where it started today, we were up 73%. So, and that is right. So if we looked at, we'd be up 73% right here. All right. So beyond that, DraftKings went down 9%. They're up and down, but they're generally a really good stock. So again, if they started off today up 60%, and now they're at 45%. So big deal. They'll be up again. I'm not too worried about it. And then everything else is kind of within standard deviation or two. So Vine Therapeutics, the biotech company. I don't give biotech companies or biotech companies. They're kind of playing with, house money, we have a couple biotechs, and I figure one of them is going to hit on something. PVAC went down 6%, and Soho, the rest, they're not really big losers at all at that point. And then we have some big winners. Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash went through the roof today. Bitcoin's up at like 26.5. Bitcoin Cash went up 33%. We started at 272. It's at 361, so that's pretty awesome. AVCT went up from 612 to 750, but this is kind of the bipolar stock. They could go back down within 2 days anyway, so I'm not giving them too much of a thought on that. HT, which dropped, remember they had some liquidity concerns, and they're kind of the sister stock or the brother stock or cousin stock or whatever with BHR, which is doing amazingly. That's this stock right here, which is up more than doubled that stock. I was considering buying them when it got down to like 214, I think. So if we look at AHT, let's take a look at them. Yeah, 217 is where they were a couple days ago. And I could have bought them for that stock, which would have been really nice. because the stock moved all the way up to 297. So not a big deal. I was happy to stay where I'm at. It would have been nice to buy it, great, but whatever. I'm not too worried about it. It's a great stock. We're pretty well capitalized in it, so I'm not going to do too much about it. Next ID, that's kind of the cybersecurity company. They went up 12% today. They're due to come back. They're still in the red a little bit, but they're going to be fine. This is stock I'm not going to buy more of, and I'm not going to sell. This is a good medium-term stock, not short-term and not long-term, where I think we're going to have some big gains ahead of us. So remember I said that in future videos. Houghton Mifflin Company, that's the textbook stock company, went 8% today. They're doing pretty good. Nikola, again, went up 8% today, and they make basically EVs. It's a well-named stock. Nikola wants to be like Tesla. So they're still down 13, but I think they have some really big days coming up ahead, especially if Biden's pretty much going to be president. With a lot of the EV subsidies you're going to see, I think, a stock like this take off. Braemar Resorts went up 8% today, which is really awesome. And Blink Charging kind of pairs with Nikola in the same sector. They went up 7%. Everything else is kind of in standard deviation. There's no great news on there. As a whole, holdings, we're sitting up here at 132,000 in stock. That's almost doubled from what we bought it for. And then from the initial deposits of about 33,000, we are over triple our, what we started with. We have a gain of about 70,000, and that's including, paying off. That is including, it's 100,000, 132,000. We pay off the margin. It puts us at 120, and that gives us a $70,000 gain, which is kind of nice. And it's near the end of the year, so we're not paying that this year. So it's probably going to be a long-term gain or a short-term gain next year, but that's not going to be a tax we see anytime soon. So with that in mind, a couple things that I noticed here when we go to movement being ranked. Let's see, AMC went down 6%. When we look at them for two days, AMC was still around 6%. It's down. It's basically down at 244 as a share price. So if we look at them, we'll go to holdings for AMC. They're down to 244. We bought it at 396. I still think that's kind of cheap. I think we're going to get a really good return on that. So that's kind of our biggest laggard right now, and it's mainly just because they're in the doldrums, and a lot of people are just wondering, are they gonna start releasing stuff on streaming versus theaters, and are theaters going to be a thing of the past? I heard some people talk about that, but that's, first of all, it's moronic. So To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.